So last night I got a chance to see Joker Folie Deux, and I'm going to use this opportunity to make my first ever full-length spoiler video. This is not going to be a play-by-play, but I have to talk about this movie because unfortunately I really felt like this movie was a giant waste of time in that this movie didn't have to exist before it came out and it didn't have to exist after it came out. I have no reason why this movie exists, and I heard that sentiment from a lot of other YouTubers. And I completely 100% agree with that. I do not know what the goal of this movie was. For instance, the big thing for me is that if I'm going into a movie titled Joker, or something like The Dark Knight with Joker in it, I don't need to see him doing a whole bunch of dance numbers and a whole bunch of singing choruses. Like, I don't need that in my life. Watching this movie, I'm just like, please, never ever give us a musical version of the Joker again. It's okay if the Joker sings sometimes and be funny. It's okay if he makes a tune or two every once in a while. That's fine. That's in the Joker's nature. However, I just felt like it was just too much. Watching Joaquin Phoenix in here, as good of a performer as he is in this movie, I really felt like he was just kind of there. Like, a lot of the dancing that he did, I'm just sitting there going, this version of the Joker, I don't need to see. As someone that kind of wanted to see how much farther this version of the Joker could go, I did not expect that this movie was going to show me him singing and dancing a lot. And anyone that he does attack, anyone that he does kill in this movie, is strictly during the scenes where he's inside of his head. This movie is not ambiguous at all. This movie's not ambiguous at all, guys. Like, you know that all these musical numbers are just inside of his head from the first time he breaks out into song. Now, I actually really enjoyed the first Joker in the dancing aspects. I thought that was a great addition to this version of the character life, and I actually do enjoy musicals when they're done well, and unfortunately, well, it might not be done terribly, it didn't vibe with me. Watching Joaquin Phoenix in this movie was not as good as it was the first time. He's still really good in the movie, as I said, but unfortunately, he didn't really do much in the movie, and it's like, this guy is supposed to be the clown prince of crime. I don't need to be seeing him striking musicals and striking dances all the time. I don't need that, and unfortunately, it's what this movie gave us in the forefront, and it didn't work for me. But for me, the real spoilers come at the ending, the way they decide to end this movie. Now, I must say, first and foremost, I understand what they were trying to do. What they were trying to do is say, see, this guy inspired someone else to become an even worse Joker, and it wasn't even about Arthur Fleck. It was about the Joker persona. Once Joker, for some reason, honestly, demolishes that title at the end of the movie, so an inmate decides to kill him. And, I'll admit, my face was when it happened, because I was actually shocked that this is how they were going to end the character. And I didn't even know that the guy that killed him was putting on a Glasgow smile. I didn't even notice, because I just kept staring at the fact that Arthur Fleck's dead body is how I have to end this movie and end this universe, and not him just running around and having fun with orderlies. The end appears at the ending of the first one, and that's exactly how it should have ended. And for me, that's exactly how it did end. Sorry, Todd Phillips, I loved your first movie. I really did. But unfortunately, you decided to make a sequel, and it didn't live up to it. But I get all that with the ending, okay? So he decides to pretend like Joker is not a real person, that he's not the Joker now, and that was just a persona that he came up with. Again, I don't need any of that. I just wish that it could have just ended the way it did, and that's all we got. But unfortunately, they decided to continue it. And I know I keep saying that because it's just this movie shouldn't exist. That's what I kept thinking when I watched the trailers and my preparation for this movie. And now that I finished it, I'm just like, man, this movie really shouldn't exist at all. I don't really know what else to say, guys. Lee ends up not with him at the end because he threw away the Joker persona. Again, I get it. But it's I don't really understand why he decided to do that. I get he was beaten up by the guards and stuff, and maybe his spirit was just broken. But, I don't know. It just, for me, it didn't vibe with what I would want within a Joker movie. That's really the only spoilers that I can think of for right now. This is my first time ever doing a full-on spoiler discussion, so I'm sorry that I'm really rusty on this. Hope to get better in the near future, but I had to talk about this movie and some of the spoilers. They don't end up together. And Harvey Dent actually kind of becomes Two-Face because he gets a bunch of shrapnel from the explosion that you've seen in the trailer, about half of his face. But it looks like a cat just kind of scratched him a bunch of times. But it is what it is. I mean, I guess it's an origin story for this version of Harvey Dent's character. But like I said, they kill Arthur Fleck at the end. I'm fine with just the end at the end of Joker. But anyway, that's all I got for this one, guys. I've been doing a horror movie review every single day on Shorts, and I'm trying to keep that up, guys. Today I'm going to try to watch Candyman, which is the first time viewing for me. Again, sorry this is a little rusty, but I had to talk about some of the spoilers and my perception of this movie. Don't ever need to see Joker in a musical again. Like this. Just don't. Clown Prince of Crime, that's what he is. Anyway, that's all I got for this one, guys. Agent